Hey, this is Leslie, the freebie guy from thefreebieguy.net, and in this video I'm going to talk about what goes into a trade thread. Inside this video, I'm first going to talk about the importance of your trade thread, then I'm going to talk about your trade thread title, and then I'm going to talk about your trade thread content, and lastly I'm going to talk about a few trade thread no-nos. Alright, let's talk about the importance of your trade thread. If you're working on a freebie forum, for example, CaliStyle101.com, your trade thread is extremely important because it tells who you are and what you have to offer. It's the part that closes the deal. When people maybe click on your signature and they come to your trade thread, they look at what you have there to offer, and that's really what seals the deal. Now, when someone comes to a trading sub forum, what they see is a list of titles. And the title is very important because it gets people to open your trade thread. If your title is not appealing, people will not click on that title and they will not get to see what you have to offer. So one of the things that I recommend for people when they're coming up with a trade thread title is to focus on short-term goals and also long-term goals. And the reason for that is that the short term entices people, so it gets people excited, but the long term impresses people. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You're just starting, you just want to set up a trade thread, and you might not have any long term success. However, you build that over time, and the more you're established in the freebie industry, the more you're able to talk about what you have done over the long term and what you can provide for them over the long term. Now let's talk about what goes into your trade thread. The first thing you want to do is answer the question, who are you? When people come to the freebie forums and they try to choose a mentor, the first thing what they want to know is, who is this person that I'm going to be working with? So it's good to give a short description of who you are, letting them know that you're a real person with real experiences and that you're genuinely concerned in getting them started and helping them through the process. Next thing you want to talk about is what you have to offer. Do you have some special training that you'll give them, some resources that you can give them, mentoring? Those are all very important things, and the more you have, the more you can provide and the more you can help your referral. And when they see this, they are more likely to work with you. And of course, you want to mention the sites you're working on. You want to list those in your trade thread so that people know what they're going to be getting and how much they're going to be getting paid for each trade that they're doing with you. Now, there are some things that you just don't want to do in your trade thread, and I'm going to talk about those now. First of all, you don't want extremely long articles. Now, this does work for some people, but in general, I find that when people come to a freebie trading forum, they don't necessarily want to read a long article before they can see exactly what you're going to be delivering. So this is something you want to take into consideration and see what works for you. Sometimes you're going to be tweaking here and there to see what works better, but this is something that I would not necessarily recommend unless you know exactly what you're doing with those long articles. The next thing is you want to make sure it's visually appealing. You don't want it to be too distracting, having really bright colors that are hard to read and so on. You want to make sure that when someone comes, it's easy for them to see and easy for them to read. And the last thing is you don't want to clutter your trade thread. You don't want it to look too busy. You want it to be focused. It has the information that your referrals need, and that's it. So in review, you know that your trade thread is very important. You know the importance also of your trade thread titles and the thing that you need to focus on when you're coming up with these titles. Also, you know the content that you need to put into your trade thread, and you know some of the things that you just don't want in there. That's it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.